All right, let's test quickly if there is sound. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, let's. Okay, we've got sound, so yeah, we can start. This is actually the third live stream today, because why not? To be perfectly honest, I'm trying to unlock dual live streaming on YouTube, doing this, so I can live stream in both modes. Because this one, of course, goes to YouTube as well. I mean, I don't know on which platform you are watching it, but it goes to YouTube. And on one of my channels, on my Polish channel, it already got unlocked, so I can live stream in two formats at once. And on this one, I don't know why. Even though I needed much more on this channel, it's still not available. But anyway, I just stumbled upon this material of Meet Kevin. I don't know if you know Meet Kevin, to be honest. Of course, how would I know? How can I know? I cannot know things like that. I don't know who you are. I don't know your name or anything about you. And you at least can see how I look in this monochromatic filter. And yeah, so here basically, I mean, the title speaks for itself. Our economy is royally effed, and what he's discussing here is that things are not really looking good. Maybe that's because he's under heavy influence of what happened on Friday. Meet Kevin, you must be a little bit careful with him because sometimes he is talking about very short-term things, and you may get the impression he means something bigger, some bigger picture, and then. But when you listen carefully to him, then you realize what he's talking about. But it takes a little bit of a practice, to be honest. By the way, if you have any questions, of course, write me in the live chat. I will see it here. And if you are watching me on X, then I will see it on my phone. So any given way, I will see it, right? So yeah. So what he's saying. I mean, the one thing I'm not sure where he. I mean that he's quoting sources. He's giving sources where he gets it from. I'm not going to play this whole material because it's 37 minutes. That's a very long talk. I don't remember exactly at which point he started to talk about it. Maybe you know what? Maybe we'll be able to find it here in the transcript. I don't know. Have you noticed? But for quite a while already, YouTube has this option, show transcript, and you know what I do many times. I don't actually listen to the material. I just copy paste it into Grok and ask Grok what the recording was about, because to some people I don't really like to spend that much time with them, and yes, some of you may be using this option to check out, look up what I've said. To my knowledge, that this one does not work with live streams, at least not live streams of some small YouTubers. My channel it doesn't work when I live stream. This option is not available. I don't know why, but with other people when they live stream, especially if they are big channels, after a while I see, like a couple of hours, I see that transcript is made. For the rest, it works. I think it works only for uploaded videos. All right. Anyway, let's take a look. Where exactly he talks about what I wanted to mention here. How do I phrase it? That's the difficult part. um, Tell me what Meet Kevin. Kevin says about retail involvement, but I cannot. I cannot type type now for whatever reason. Tell me what the Mid Kevin says about retail involvement in the stock market currently. This is a here. Here is a transcript of his last YouTube material. Let's see. Let's see what Grok tells us. So Mid-Kevin highlights significant retail involvement in the stock market as a key indicator of current market euphoria and potential overextension. Specifically, he notes that stocks recently experienced the highest month ever of retail stock inflows. You see, so it was inflow. Sorry, not. I wanted to say there was highest market participants in history, and you see, I would have. I almost phrased it wrong because it was highest retail inflow. So that's a significant difference. So this is something that is definitely unsettling. If you know how markets really work, because they move from a low point saturation to high point saturation, and if that's indeed the case, then probably the S&P 500 is up for a little bit greater correction, and that would influence crypto too. That would affect crypto too in a visible manner. So yeah, in my last material, I was saying that we shall not take out this low here on 15-minute, counted by candle bodies. So far, as you see, we maintain high levels with candle bodies that were printed afterwards. But as you see, we have a tendency of marking slightly lower highs and slightly lower lows. So we kinda try to navigate towards here. And then when we switch over to 1 hourly, we are actually, this is exactly what we are doing. We are just downtrending. We are trending lower. I mean, of course, the dips get shorter, get more shallow, and that's a good thing. That means we are stomping on more concrete ground with every single hour. That's good. But if S&P 500 really is close to the high saturation point I've been talking about so much here on this channel, and they keep dumping things there. He also mentions in this material that every single inside trader is selling. You know what? Let's query Grok about what exactly he said in this material, and from what I remember, of course, and squeeze a little bit details out of it. So, what else does he? What source does he quoted? Is that how I say it or cited? In this material, talking about that record high retail. What does he quote it? Okay. All right. I'm of course, to your information, I am not a native English speaker, so some things from time to time I will use from time to time I will use a non-standard expression to to explain myself. So bear with me. I'm trying to correct it, but that's the way it is when English is your second language. Sooner or later, you will say something that sounds a little bit off, but you know what I mean. In the transcript, Kevin explicitly references. This is the word I supposed to use. What he referenced, not quoted, but referenced. He references Bank of America as the source of the second highest deployment of stock purchases by its clients in the past 2 weeks. Okay, nothing. This as a sign of strong retail participation. He does not name a specific source of the highest mod ever of retail stock inflows, presenting it as established market data. Okay, so yeah, kinda reliable Bank of America as a source. I think I think we can go with that. We can work with that. And what else he said? There's one more thing. He said widespread optimism, blah blah blah, and increasing promotion of leverage ETFs. Yeah, that's always bad when there is increased leverage in the market. And we witnessed exactly what happened today early morning on that from 9 and which he sees as drawing in more novice retail participants chasing gains. Yeah, of course. Overall, Kevin views this surge in retail buying amid hope that everything is just going to be okay, as feeling this time is different environment, rising the risk of a sharp correction if catalysts like earnings misses or tariff escalation materialize. Yeah. I mean, whatever data he thinks matters, that does not really matter. What matters is at what saturation point the market is, and if there is high retail presence already in number and with capital with high capital capital per capita, so per head. That's a huge red. That's a huge warning sign. It stands a little bit in opposition to how the outcome market looks like now, because with a dip this great we've seen today, definitely a huge chunk of retail investors got just pushed out, right? Massive amount of those assets just fell into hands of into hands of strong hands, right? They fell into strong hands. Okay, let's say it like that. Massive amount of this market, massive part of this market, counted in different tokens and units, fell into hands. Fell into strong hands, meaning that the remaining supply probably will stay very low in the market, meaning that very little of additional inflows should cause, at least in theory, should cause impressive rallies, right? Impressive gains, impressive increases. So this one stands in a very strong opposition against a debacle that could come from S&P 500 side. So thanks God I don't have to wrap my head around it and decide what to do. I have my algorithms, my systems from managing my portfolio, because this one is a tough. This one is definitely a tough one. This is a tough one. Yeah. Anyway, guys, if you have any questions, of course, ask me in the live chat. I will sit here. Don't be shy. Whatever you write, I will not be biting you, of course. I will not bite. I promise. Uh, Even if you just write hi, that's good enough. That's always nice. And yeah, so on Bitcoin, I see that we could potentially go lower. given how right now the price action is is behaving on 15 minute and 1 hourly, and those are two intervals I analyze the most, um, because I'm about that, let's say, midterm. On others too, we don't see really very sharp buy up yet. In my prior material, I said that we may see another dip here to break this level of support, and that usually comes because on the way down here, actually let's switch to 15 minute because we're on hourly. On the way down, what am I doing? On the way down, sometimes someone accidental will benefit from the situation like this. Someone that was not were not supposed to be there and caught some very low price. Like literally a trade, a once in a lifetime trade, and now they see this thing is not recovering for several hours. They have zero experience. They don't know how to read the chart, and they are slowly starting to think that they should just sell it right here, right now, because they will not get any better deal from here. This thing will roll over and will continue to fall, and that is why usually after a dip like this, that group of people does the second dip, which is already much smaller, way smaller, and then we start a march towards levels that we previously lost, and then much higher, because of the shift of a vast part of this market in units, in tokens, landing in strong hands, right? So that's interesting. That's very interesting. Maybe allow me to quickly check S&P chart once again and confront it with what Kevin just said. Like, because I mean, right now we are just falling, right? We don't really see anywhere this thing anywhere stopping out. I mean, stopping. It's not trading anymore because it's Saturday. It will start on Monday. But then when we look at SPYX, this one is actually having a recovery. I mean, I understand that the size of this liquidity pool is nowhere close to the NYSE, for example. I think SPY trades on NYSE as well. Am I right? SPCFD, okay. In this case. No, sorry, but this is a SPX. Sorry, SPY. Yeah, NYSE. Yeah, I was right. NYSE. Yeah, the liquidity here, of course, is like a fraction of what you get on NYSE. But for whatever reason, whenever on the weekend, this time performs well, then we have a nice Monday open. And so far, I mean, we are having sort of a recovery here. So if it continues this way, maybe just maybe all of this situation reverses to where it started. I don't think we can truly neglect that. But also maybe, just maybe, Kevin is right, and the point of saturation of TradFi, of stock market, is really high right now, and then that would mean the market is way too heavy and the correction is overdue. That would mean we must see a correction. That would not mean we are over with the bull market? I think we are not, to be honest. But we could see some sizable correction here. And instead of getting that correction in November, as I was predicting, that will happen in October. So way before. So look, I was expecting some of the big players to front run the market, because many times when we get those big corrections in fourth quarter, it happens in December, end of November, or in December. And I was saying, starting from November, you should pull up your guard, right? And then highly likely it will happen in the middle of November, because I was calculating in that some of the big players will be front running, the rest of the market, and maybe, just maybe, they front run it much more than I expected, right? So they are doing it, what's supposed to happen in November, they are doing it in October. That's also, we cannot completely take it out of the picture. So yeah, this is basically what I wanted to say. What I wanted to comment on. And if you guys have any questions, of course, or maybe, I don't know, you want to write something that you think everybody should know about, or you want to know my personal opinion about it, write it in the live chat. And let's take a look at my X timeline shortly. Maybe we'll find something additional here that is also interesting. Breaking: Microsoft now accepts Dogecoin payments. What? How come? And what Dogecoin is doing is Dogecoin is Dogecoin reacting to it anyhow? I don't think so. Doge USDT actually wanted. Nah, it does nothing. Absolutely nothing. But that was okay. That was 10 hours ago, so that's why I didn't pay attention. Fast food giant Steak and Shake is planning a big announcement on Bitcoin white paper day. Okay. Breaking: Binance just started dumping millions in BTC and Ethereum to liquidate longs. The same manipulation over and over again. That's Weimar.x. No. That's not Binance. You silly boy. That's retail. That's average Joe's. Calming down 126k new buyer after he checked his crypto portfolio. I don't like to look at things this gross. Somebody's expressing his love to a young camel. Coin Bureau: 700 million XRP liquidation. Over $707 million in XRP position liquidated, with 615 million in longs wiped out as traders were caught off guard by the sudden crash. Yeah, the simple recipe to that is just don't use leverage, and that's it. Simple as that. And by the way, if you want to recover your money, I think I've got an option for you, and I'm very convinced that with throwing something small at Hightech, my meme coin, you open the doors to that possibility. Like, I don't know, allocate here $1, $2, $3 here, throw at it, and I don't know, forget about it for a year, 2 or 3, and there is a very, in my humble opinion, of course, very thick chance that you will recover the money you lost today. Why is that so? Because this is basically indirectly the stock of my social media, and as you see, I'm growing, I'm active, my visibility will only increase, and my popularity will only increase. And whoever wants to do business with me anyhow, or whoever wants to gain exposure through my media in the future, will have to buy up this meme coin. That is the deal with my holders, right? So whatever business activity I do through my social media, it will have to go through this chart. So yeah, so that's definitely a very innovative approach. I do not know anybody who decided to give something like this a try. And I'm a very consequent guy. I'm very stubborn, and I think that's a perfect combination for this kind of a thing. Trump announces China tariff, the entire crypto market here just falling. What the hell? This is AI, I think. Is it AI? No, maybe not. No, maybe this is not AI. But then that is this a woman? Oh my God! She fell off the stairs. No, she what? No, she couldn't. What? What the hell am I looking at? She had to break here. She had to break her legs. This is she's super heavy, and this is like I don't know 3 meters, bro. No, there's no way she didn't break anything. I think that was the last scene, and they just put it in another order or something. They rearranged the order or something. Or this is AI. One of the two. That looks very surreal, to be honest. So yeah, so here as you see, Bitcoin does not stop with those small bounces that make me a little bit uncomfortable. Eventually, be ready for another attempt of a dip on Bitcoin. Um, that's possible. That's possible. I wonder how Atkins will react to that because bro, I mean, it was so shaken out, so taken out of weak hands that I mean, some of the coins went literally minus 99%. And this is not even a metaphor. This is literally what happened. Minus 99 point, I don't know, 7.8%. It's just madness. But I still don't believe this is the beginning of bear market. I definitely do not believe that. The latest, Elon Musk says, "Some days I don't want to be me." Bro, everyone has a day like that. I mean, today probably many people don't want to be them. And that was 13 hours ago. By the way, I wonder how Tesla is doing. But you know what? Let's take a look at tokenized Tesla because we can. Tesla X. This is daily. Let's take a look at smaller time frame. So it also suffered. It also suffered yesterday. By how much? Not that much. In the greatest dip, it was it minus 10%, and not that bad. It could be worse. And now, as you see, it's yeah, at least trying to recover. But yeah, probably we'll see a second deep attempt on Bitcoin and S&P. I mean, S&P assuming or on SPY because we had on SPY and S&P because we haven't this, there's two liquidity pools. This one is 68k, this one is 764. Okay, so let's pick this one. Because usually when you get something like this, a dip like this, usually it takes a W shape. Even if everything is fine under the hood and it's about to recover, it usually takes shape of a W. Uh, so it still can do like different shape, right? Different shapes, different forms. It comes in different forms, not only one unified form in many different shapes. But nonetheless, a W. It comes in the shape of a W. How do I erase it? Okay, here. All right. By the way, let me take a look at the live chat. Okay. If you guys have any questions or you want to say something, right in the live chat. Derek Evans, but that was 11th. So a couple of hours ago. I mean, in my time zone, because this probably displays my time zone. 1:52 a.m. Okay, so that was 24 hours ago. Over 24 hours ago. Tens of thousands of people in China are now homeless because their social credit scores are too low. Okay, that's interesting. If you didn't know, China is not as you can see on internet. It has nothing to do with what you usually watch on internet. The Chinese government specializes in lying to people, to their own people, but their own people, live it, and they have to, deal with the reality that CCP, um, which is Communist China Party, with the reality they create. So, obviously they have eyes and they have brains, so they see their light too. But the people in the West, when they watch, especially those that have no idea how let's say broad communist propaganda is, that they think is for real. If they see like rendered stuff present itself to them as a reality, they give it at least a benefit of a doubt. Rendered, I mean computer rendering. Once Paul announces QE, crypto will explode. Stay bullish. But we are already in QE because we are in the pivot already happened with interest rates. They are already lowering rates. We are in QE. Quantitative easing. So loosening the monetary policy, injecting liquidity in economy. Breaking. Well, just bought 54,425 Ethereum. That was 3 hours ago. Worth over 200 million. For some, yesterday was the end. For others, the beginning. Buy the dips. Okay, this one we can skip. From Listen, whatever good news from Russia and China, you can easily skip actually, because those guys lie. They are addicted liars. I mean the governments. I'm not talking about the people. Differentiate that. I'm not talking about the people. The nation. The nation has nothing to do with the government. Binance co-founder Yihe says users who suffered losses attributable on the exchange can request compensation. Okay. That's I don't think many will succeed with it. I don't think anyone will succeed with it. Maybe some very specific cases that you will be able to count on fingers of one hand. BTC did jumped from 59.5 to 62 in less than 30 minutes. Yeah, because the altcoin market got literally obliterated with shorts. So what did you expect? Those are not that liquid. Those are not very liquid markets. So applying adequate selling pressure and without any redistribution techniques is going to plummet. What the hell just happened? Okay. Oh, it's OBS. OBS still works. Okay. Where did $19.6 billion in liquidations go? A real question. Marty Party. It went to strong hands. It went to big business. It went to exchanges. It went to strong hands. For God's sakes. This what? Cuando no te toca, no te toca. When it's not your turn, then it's not your turn. What the hell, bro? If this is not AI, my God, she was just born again. Amazing. Okay, guys, allow me to wrap it up right here. And share, like, and subscribe if you haven't done so. And because is there anybody writing anything? No. And don't forget to throw something small at Hightech, just so we have a little bit of a stake in what I'm doing here, just in case I explode and hugely succeed in what I'm doing. I mean, to me, that's a formality. I know it's going to happen, but because the process is really simple if you think about it, and you can benefit from it with little to almost zero risk. If you choose not to, then just don't blame anybody later on. So yeah, thank you for your time, and I see you sometime soon. Cheers.